Welcome to a new video about Unreal Engine 5. Today we'll complete our tutorial about making the helicopter. Today we'll make the hover mode. Uh, when you press a button, the helicopter will hover in the air and will not go forward or backward. First, we need to add an input action event. Action mapping hover. I'll make it H. Also, I'll add shooting buttons because I will also add them in this video. Gun, fire, left mouse button, and rockets, right mouse button, and homing missile. Middle mouse button. I will also add change camera. Make it G. Now, first of all, let me clean this and make it a custom event. Let's call it setting the altitude. Let's comment on it. Setting altitude. Now, let's start with the hover mode. Hover. First, let's make a boolean called hover. And make a branch. We make it like this because we want it to be one press. If we use the flip-flop, sometimes it gives you problems. This method is safer. Now, if it is in hover mode, I want it to be set to not in hover mode. And if it is not hovering, we want to set it to hover. Now let's make custom event. Now what we want is find the actor rotation, the pitch and yaw, and if they are more than some values, like we'll clamp it between -5 and 5. If it's more than this, the helicopter will correct the pitch and yaw. Get actor location, rotation. Rotation, break. Let's first get the pitch. Map range clamped. It's -5 and between -5 and 5. We want, if it is -5 rotation the pitch, we want it to we want the input to be -5, and if it is 5, I mean 0.5, the pitch input. Set pitch input. And the same thing should be for the roll, but we change this roll. Also set roll input. Same values, but be careful to change this from pitch to roll. Now let's test it. Let's put it. I forgot to add the setting the altitude. No, we should put it before setting the altitude. Now let's add a branch here. Branch hover mode. It is not. It's hovering. Sorry. Hover. And we should put the settings altitude, because if we don't put it, if we don't add it here, the helicopter will fall when you press the hover button. Now when the helicopter is hovering, we do not want it to get pitch input from the mouse. Set a branch here. It's hovering, so there will be no input. Also, we do not want it to get any input from the keyboard. Let's copy. Now you want it to still turn in place, and let's test it now. Let's see. Now we're going up, going forward. Now we press the hover button. I think we need to change the roll. Where is the hover? We need to flip them. 0.5 and here -0.5. Now let's test it. We go up, move forward, now hover. Yeah, it's hovering. Now I can look around, turn, but it's still sliding, still has some speed. So we want some small inputs again regarding the speed to stop it from moving like this. Now we need another check if the pitch is in range. Our range will be between -5 and 5. We do not want it to include minimum or maximum value. Branch. We need here also another branch. We need to test the speed. Get the forward speed. If it is more or equal to 10. If it's true, we need to set pitch input to minus 0.05. We need small inputs. We do not want large values because it will look bad and will give you a lot of problems. Now change this to be to less than or equal to -10. Another branch. And get the same pitch value but make it without the minus, positive 0.05. Now let's test it. Now we go up, move forward. Now let's press the hover button. Let me go forward now. It's better to decrease the speed before hovering. Now let's test it now, like this. Now it's better. Now it's hovering in place. You can turn around and look around. Now let's just comment on this. Hover mode. Now I'll make the homing missile, but before it let's make the change camera function. We want the camera to lock to the gun so that we can give direction to the homing missile. First we need another boolean, two booleans. One is gun camera active. The other one camera is moving. Camera moving. First, we do branch. We made this to also to make it like a toggle. When you press the button, the camera will change. When you press it again, it will go back to the spring arm. Here, if it is true, you should set it to not, and if it's false, to true. Now, we need a timeline. Add a timeline. Let's call it camera position. From the start and this from the end. Now let's add a track flow track. Call it camera alpha. Let's make it a half a second. Add key, and here also add a key. Value 1. Here 0. Now, and before this, I want moving. If it is moving, it will not do anything. But if it is stopped, we can change the position again. Moving here in the update. And when finished, it will be. Now what we need is lerp transform, which will give us smooth movement between the two sockets. Now what we need is the socket name for the spring arm and the socket name for the gun. First, get socket transform. It will be the first location. The second will be the gun transform. The socket, I attached the camera to the socket spring endpoint called. Now take the name, put it here in the spring arm. Now the gun, we should go to the skeletal mesh and look for the gun. This one, gun socket tilt forward. Copy because we wanted exactly the same. Now what we need is set transform, set world transform, and on finish we want to attach the camera to the socket. And first we need to know if it is in camera socket on the spring arm or it is on the gun. So we need a check branch. I mean, if it's equal to 0, means it's in the first position. till the spring arm. So branch, so we need attach component to component. Component, target as the camera, and the parent should be the spring arm because it is 0. 0 is attached to the spring arm. 0, the first position. Snap to target, and the paste. And now when it is false, means it's in the second position. Change the spring arm to the mesh, and the socket name. Now let's look to it. I think this is enough. Let's test it. Let's press G. I think there is something wrong with the branch. Let's test it again. Hello again. What was wrong is you need to add the, let me delete it, add the not boolean here, because if it is not active it should be active. If it's not active, it's not true, then should activate it and then move on to change the position. If it's false, which mean we flip it, which is true, we want to make it false. Or if you need, you can flip them and you cannot delete this one and make it like this. It's not different, but it's only the will be more organized. Now it's moving well. I will go with the not boolean. It's more. It looks better. Looks good. Now let me comment on this. Now what we want is, let's make the homing missile. First we want to, before the homing missile, we want the gun to move with the mouse. So let's go here, what we need is the actor rotation and the control rotation. Get actor rotation and get control rotation. We need the delta, the difference between these rotation, which will give us the direction that we want the gun to look for. Break. No. Promote this to variable. Call it gun pitch. And this one gun yaw. Now we need to modify bone. Let's copy this. Two copies we need because one is for the pitch, the other one is for the yaw. Now the yaw, we should use the gun, I think gun main. Yeah, gun main for the yaw. Gun main. One gun main. Underscore gun main and the yaw. We need to clamp it. Clamp float. Minus 90 and plus 90. Now the gun pitch, I think tilt. Yes, tilt. Gun tilt. Gun tilt. We want to clamp it between, I think -5 will be -5 to maybe 45 degrees. -5 and +45 pitch. Let me just look. -10. Now let me test the pitch. Let me change it to bone space. Or compound space? No. World space? No. Keep it on parent bone space. Change it to 90. Okay. I need to multiply it by -1. Okay, we need to flip the values only. Minus 75 and 10. Consult. This was the problem. Make it 0 is pitch value, and clamp the gun pitch between minus 45 and 10. If we maybe minus 35, let's check it now. 10, like this, good. Now let's make the projectiles. Projectile here. Actor VP projectile base. Oh, yeah. Underscore. Let's add the collision sphere. And projectile movement. Also we need a static mesh. Now the values of projectile with initial speed 25,000 and the max speed is 15,000 or 20,000 to make it go slower and then fall on the ground. Now we also need Niagara system for the smoke trail. Now let's make child $30mm gun millimeter gun, or just 30mm, and rocket and homing missile. Now let's start with the easy one, the missiles and the 30mm projectile. Now we need another content. I will choose the M26 missile. Yes. Okay, I need to exit Unreal Engine first. Let me pause the recording here. Hello again. Now we need the M26 and the AGM. This AGM 140. This is the Hellfire missile. Now let's go back to the Let's make static mesh. First I will delete these, I don't need them. Let's make static mesh. Mm, Here, sm underscore 26. This one, and also let's make static mesh for the Hellfire missile. Now let's go for the projectiles here. Now for the 30 millimeter, I will choose the will not choose any effect for smoke trails. Here we will use the shell. This or I'll use the sphere. Change its size. Change the size. The right side. Let's make it smaller, 16. Now let's change the material. Let's make it red. And change this to the emissive color. Let's change this to make it red and multiply it by, plug it here, the emissive color. Now by 100 or 200. Apply. Now gunfire. Spawn actor from class. 30 millimeter projectile. We need the gun socket from the mesh. I have it here. I do not want to go look for it. This one. This one. Mm, I will delay. Make the rate of fire 0.1. Let's make another boolean, call it fire. And here set it to not fire. Branch. If it is firing, if it's still firing, we should go back. Now let's projectile base, projectile stop. Let's do this one. On projectile stop. Emitter or system at location. Rotation from X. Destroy actor. And now static mesh collision should be no collision, and the sphere change it to block all. Now we need an explosion. I don't have Niagara explosion, so I will use, let's find the free one on the marketplace. Here we have this realistic starter pack. This is on the permanently free collection, so let's add it to our project and go back. I think it's not Niagara. Let's check. Where is it? This one. Particle explosion. Yes. Yes. There's not this one. Concrete it. Let me find another one. These are big explosions. I will use anything of this. There is also a free content you can take. The LAV. This is on the permanently free content. It has very good explosions and impact effects. But I will use the free now. It's also free, but it will take time to bring them. Make it emitter, spawn emitter, at location. Let's make it concrete. Now let's test it. The video is becoming very long. It's now 45 minutes. Maybe I'll stop here. I have to invert the values here. We need by -1. Oh, no. Here. Multiply it by -1. And this one also multiply it by -1. Now we hover and we can shoot. No, the rockets are the same thing, but we need to add uh, the sockets here for the right and left. Root. Let's add left Hydra rocket. Now the second one. I need to add another one. Call it right Hydra. Take this and reverse the Y. Make it plus. Yeah. Like this. Now rockets. Now here we need the flip-flop to alternate between the right and left rocket. Copy this. Duplicate. By the way, in Unreal Engine 5, duplicate is Control D, while import was Control and W. Now let's get the socket name. Socket name for the right. Here, rocket. Object rocket. Here also rocket. Now we need promote this to variable. Call it impact effects. Impact effects. For the gun, I will leave it as the concrete. Now for the rocket, we need nice explosion. This is not good. This one. Explosion B. Explosion B is nice. Maybe the A. Okay, A. Explosion A. Now let's go to the projectile. Rocket. Explosion A. Big. Also, we need the M26. Back like this. And the effect M26. This one. -180. Make it 500. I love smoke. Now let's setting the right one, setting the plane. What we need is okay. Make it forward maybe 200 away from the plane. Also, there's 200. The rocket is very fast. I'll decrease the speed 15,000 and here 10,000. Also the explosion, don't like it. Make it B. maybe scale. Okay, now it's good now. Okay, I will stop now because the video is becoming very long. For the next video I will make the homing missile. Thank you for watching. Thank you.